Yep, you can use them interchangeably. Sure. I'll just check the statement of work. Okay, great. Talk to you soon. Sorry about that. Where was I? Oh, right. Why I'm asking my employer for a conversation about my epilepsy. Well, I've had a big change at work because I picked up a project based out of Dallas, and now, unfortunately, all this traveling has thrown my medication schedule off. It's also affected other things, such as sleep, my exercise routine, the amount of pressure I'm under. So now I'm having nighttime seizures. To be honest, it's been a little rough. Sometimes I find it hard to keep up my performance on the job. Keeping regular hours after a nocturnal seizure is challenging. It makes it hard to get up the next morning and manage this project if I've barely slept the night before. And with the recent cutbacks at work, there's going to be more expected of me. My performance is going to suffer unless I can come up with some solutions soon. An insult to injury, I was kind of hoping this was going to be my year for my promotion. I talked to my neurologist, who told me that he has had several epilepsy patients who have found really good ways for solving problems at work. So, talking to my neurologist, talking to friends and family, and doing some research on my own, I came up with some really good ideas and strategies for talking with my manager, Steve. Steve is a good person. He and I actually started here about the same time, 5 years ago. It was right after my youngest started preschool. I told my first manager about my epilepsy when I first came on board. Pretty much everyone knows, and Steve's known for a while. It's not like I've kept it a secret or anything. You know, I just don't want it affecting my job performance. So I've put a lot of thought into this, and I've come up with a really good list of suggestions for Steve, and I'm optimistic it will go really well. There's a ton of good information out there, but to be honest, it's not easy going into your boss with a list of requests. But that's why I just want to be organized and prepared. One of the best tips I found is that you really need to think about your requests from your employer's point of view. You know, a lot of times the person you talk to has to answer to someone else, and that person wants to know how your request is going to affect the company's bottom line and the productivity. And that's just something I need to keep reminding myself. I've also read in a number of places that it's extremely important to go in with the right attitude. You have to make sure that your requests are reasonable, you have an open mind, and you're not going to expect everything to be resolved in that first meeting. It's not an instant fix, and it shouldn't be. It's going to take some time, and that's fine. Heading into this meeting, I'm just trying to remain positive. They need me as much as I need them. And I realize how important the work of this project is to the company, and I don't want to jeopardize that. But we need to figure out the best way that I can continue to be effective. Morning, Steve.
Good morning, Susan.
Thanks for setting some time aside for me.
Sure thing. How would you like to begin?
Well, I thought first we could start out by recapping why I asked you to meet with me.
Okay.
As you know, my work-related travel has nearly tripled during the past few months. You also know my epilepsy has never presented a problem on the job before.
That's right.
Well, unfortunately, my doctor and I think my heavy travel schedule could be the reason why I've suddenly started having nighttime seizures.
Oh, I didn't realize you were having seizures.
That's good. I've tried my best to keep it from affecting my work, and that's why I wanted to bring it up now, before anything happened.
And I do appreciate that.
Thank you. But I'm afraid the increased travel has affected my medication schedule and my ability to exercise, while the increased stress has also affected my sleep habits.
Sorry to hear that, but you do realize that travel is an essential part of this project, and it's something you're going to have to do.
Yes, I understand. That's why I was hoping to explore the use of video or teleconferencing in lieu of some of the travel. That said, I'll still do most of the traveling, but I thought perhaps we could try to arrange to have those meetings occur at the end of the week, so I'd have the weekend to recuperate.
We can probably help you out on that end. But I can't promise anything until we talk with the client.
Oh, of course. And on my end, I'll do my best while traveling to maintain a regular medication schedule and finding time to exercise. That's where end-of-week travel would be really helpful.
Yeah, I suppose it would. You might even be able to travel back on Saturdays.
Sure. But I also wanted to bring up a non-travel related point. The morning after a seizure, I find it really hard to perform my best, and I'm concerned my assignments will suffer if something isn't done.
But it hasn't affected you yet.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. If this occurs much longer, it most likely will. I'm simply asking for the ability to have flex hours the mornings after a seizure.
Oh. Well, what do you propose then? Because you do lead a lot of those early morning meetings. And how would we prepare for the fact that you might have a seizure the night before? It's not as if we'd have any way of knowing.
No, I understand. But I thought perhaps we could move most of the meetings to late morning or early afternoons.
As long as we can get buy-in from the team, it really shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Steve, I really do appreciate anything you can do to help me while I get these seizures under control.
Of course.
And all I'm asking for is to see if we can work together on this while I work with my neurologist. Once my seizures are under control, we can talk at that point to see if I have a need to continue these accommodations.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. We'll work this out. And I do appreciate your approaching me sooner rather than later.
No problem. Thanks again, Steve.
Sure thing.
How do I feel the meeting went? Well, I thought it went really well. It's a great start. I understand this is just the first step on a long road, but I am really glad to have taken it. I'd say the biggest help was having everything written down. I had my list of specific accommodations, and I even thought about how Steve might respond, so I had his answers written down too. So I was ready, and I think overall it was an excellent first step.